9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Say his name and he appears. I believe it said.
What's up, good people? It is Tuesday, and it is 2 days before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. And if you're hearing the sound of my voice, it is your mayor coming with you with a special Monday Night Mayor Raw post show on a Tuesday because we couldn't get to you last night, and I apologize for that. All the Christmas shenanigans and work just got a little bit beyond me, but as promised, I wanted to be here for you guys Christmas week to rap to you guys about Monday Night Raw, since we are officially in, I guess this is what we're calling a new era, since the era of Cena these past 23 years is kind of finished and done. So tonight we had a packed Monday Night Raw, and I think this was probably the shortest Raw of the Netflix era because there was only, I think time-wise, only an hour and 30-minute runtime. Very surprising to see a Raw that short, and we're just a couple weeks away from the the anniversary of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So we've actually made it a calendar year by January 5th of Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix. We actually opened the show seeing all the superstars enter the arena. I know next week they were in Grand Rapids, Michigan this week. Next week we're in Orlando for the last Monday Night Raw of the year. Then they're in Brooklyn on the 5th. Interesting things I saw. They notably showed Javon Evans and mentioned he's a free agent, saying that he's a part of NXT brand, but he's a free agent, listening to all offers. So I think that's kind of why you saw the snap match with Oba, which allowed Ricky to turn on him, and because he's going to get called up. No need to be in NXT World Title picture. They probably don't view him as the face of the brand. He's going to be a part of the main roster very soon. We saw Austin Theory make an appearance in the beginning of the show, talking to Paul Heyman, talking about he wore the mask because he wanted his actions to be felt before they were actually seen. And to Paul Heyman's reply, really? Is that what you want? Kind of knew that they were going to take this into like an audition type of thing. Like, hey, how can I be down with the vision type thing? I don't know if that was the best landing spot for Austin Theory. If you recall, when they were doing A-Town Down Under, they won the tag team titles, I believe, last year. I believe it was at Mania or Money in the Bank, one of those. And what they were building, because that tag team was together way too long, was that Grayson Waller kept messing up, kept putting Theory into bad predicaments. And you can see the fans were kind of finally getting behind Theory, that they were waiting for Theory to snap on Grayson Waller. And I guess he got hurt, so we had to wash our hands clean with that. But this feels like it is a complete 180 from that. But also, I don't know if it's going to land. I don't know how the plane is going to land for Theory in this, being that he's going to be another member of a group instead of being like his own man. Like it's giving more follower vibes to me. But we start the show, Rio backstage, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea asks Io to stay backstage because she can't protect her. Hate what we're doing with Io Sky. Hate that we're making Io Sky like this damsel in distress that Rhea has to prop up and protect. And what the hell is in these insane elbows that Kairi Sane wasn't medically cleared to compete just from taking an insane elbow to the lumbar spine? Like, that's crazy to me. More power to Kairi. But we get Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, which is a dope match. Commentary was on fire tonight. Michael Cole and Corey Graves, great pairing because they're going to give you all the backstory, all the legacy facts about different wrestlers and storylines through commentary. Great pairing. Love to hear it. They actually dropped that Asuka and Rhea had met 8 times previously before last night. Asuka had never won a match against Rhea Ripley. Of course, Kairi was there to kind of help Asuka get her first victory over Rhea Ripley, which prompted Io Sky to come out, which allowed her to get hurt again. Asuka picks up the win by using the tights against Rhea. Great ending, because I think the Kabuki Warriors needed to look strong, especially after I think they competed on SmackDown and lost to Lash and and Naya. And they have a date with Rio on the anniversary episode of Netflix on January 5th. But they also are going to have more challengers, like I mentioned, with Lash and Naya, Char Bliss, and even Bailey and Lyra, and even Judgment Day. Liv and Roxanne will be coming for those titles. So the tag team division is surprisingly very deep right now, and there's a lot of challengers. So the Kabukis needed to look strong. I like that the Kabukis have been taking the fight to everybody, everywhere, every show. Their surprise tack on Rhea last week was dope. But I'm glad that we've kind of corrected the wrong of Asuka never having a win over Rhea. Whether it was cheap, she cheated to win, like whatever it was, that's needed because the Empress shouldn't be 0-8 against anyone. So we'll see that tag team match on the first Netflix in the new year. And I think you saw a lot of the chemistry with Asuka and Rhea in this match, like the near falls, the picking of the ankles, the subs, the getting out of subs. I thought they worked very well. So hopefully we see this again and see more of it in their tag team match. We saw that Paul Heyman kind of went backstage, rapped with the Bronze about Austin Theory being in this tag team match against CM Punk and Rey Mysterio to close the show. Rey coming off a big win over his son and El Grande Americano and Triple A this past weekend. Braun Breaker, of course, doesn't like it, says, hey, like, I got your back, Bronson. I'm not taking the kids back, stuff like that. Very interesting that the direction of the division, since kicking Seth Rollins out of the group, is like that Paul Heyman is the puppet master and the mastermind behind everything. I think that's a very unique wrinkle that we're doing right now, as opposed to like Seth Rollins was the clear leader before it. And I thought that the clear leader now was more like Braun Breaker, but they're basically going with Paul Heyman being the mouthpiece, the voice, the mastermind behind it all, which is we'll see how that works out. Next, we're supposed to hear from our Intercontinental Champion, but Becky Lynch actually made her first appearance since late November to talk her shit and say how much of the conspiracy's been going on and trashing Grand Rapids, Michigan, trashing the referee and saying that she's the real Intercontinental Champion. And this is where we got a very strong promo from Maxine, which led to fisticuffs. And I love Becky Lynch's short punch so much. It's so hilarious to me, that short punch coming out of nowhere. But she said Becky seems like somebody who realized her best years are past her, which interesting because I thought we got to remember Maxine had her first title defense a week ago, tapped out Ivy Now. And she says she's going to give her blood, sweat, and tears to this title into that canvas. But it seems like she has to do a rematch with Becky first, when I thought we were going to get a more well-rounded depth of challengers backstage that could use the rub here in this division. But Becky's going to get her get back. She said that she's the rightful champion, claiming shenanigans. And it feels like this match is going to take place on that anniversary episode of Netflix. I thought it was a strong promo by Maxine. I thought it looked even better that Maxine thwarted Becky's attempts to take her out in ring, and she got the upper hand and got her in a sub, got her to tap. So I think that's going to build the rivalry there, and it's a good way to kick the year off, showcasing a different ideology of Maxine. Lynette says, hey, do you think Liv Morgan is going to turn on Raquel and Roxanne? No, I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll figure it out. And I think they'll figure it out just because if you know, I think JD McDonough had some stuff cleaned up body-wise that was nagging him, so he'll be out for a little bit. And I think what we're seeing with the Judgment Day ladies is that they have the same storyline that the men had. Like the men couldn't just get right. It was like, hey, Dom wanted help here. Dom was messing up the help with Finn. And it's like, well, who's wrong here? I thought we was trying to help each other. And then they figured it out. I think we're doing that to women now that we have 3 of them. So I think they'll ultimately figure it out and ultimately recapture gold. Next up, we had the free agent, hottest free agent in the game, Javon Evans, taking on Ryo, which is really just Mass Pete Dunne, which is hilarious. This was probably my favorite match of the night, not because of the high-flying action of Javon, because the commentary was so fucking beautiful. Corey Gray talking about how sacred Lucha Libre is and how Ryo and Bravo had rivalries for decades on end and years, and that The history is there. Even I think he even said the internet's different when Michael Cole said he was trying to look for something up on Ryo online, like really keeping the lore there of the Americanos, and that these guys could be like 80 years old or more and have been wrestling greatness in the country of Mexico. It was a strong match. Javon Evans looked great, hit his OG cutter. I think we got to really get him a different finisher, like enough with the cutters, because eventually Sol Ruka's going to be on main, and we're going to have Soul Snatchers, Cody cutters, OG cutters, and RKO. Got to find something else for the bro. But I like that he even said, he even mentioned strong style for Ryo in this match as well. I think he even said, oh, he really likes the British strong style. So it was just funny hearing them just play up the bit, as well as like things. Of course, the Americano or Grande Americano was in action in AAA and had a complete overhaul of character, had a face turn when Dom seemingly they lost the match. Dom pushes him away, and then he shakes Rey Mysterio's hand, and the crowd like really went up for that. So it's very telling how Mexican soil or Grande Americano, good stuff. We love them, fan favorite. And then America, wow, and America, like it's still like we're doing the heel tactics. We're trying to cheat to win. And then we're doing the heel tactics. We're cheating to win. And then like Javon just escapes getting jumped by the Americanos. But I wonder where Javon Evans is going to land. That's where I'm curious at, because there's going to be a bidding war. I expect Javon to also be on SmackDown in the next coming weeks. And I genuinely don't know where he fits. You want to have something that's fun and exciting, but is there going to be enough time for Javon Evans to develop his character? Something that he's done in NXT, but he hasn't won the big one. He couldn't beat Oba at all in the triple threats or the singles. Got cheated out of that. But I just don't know. The shiny toy always looks great. It's what they do with the shiny toy that I'm more concerned with, because we saw the same thing with Carmelo Hayes. And it took like a year or longer for them to actually start moving Carmelo Hayes into that direction. But great win for Javon Evans. Obviously on Monday Night Raw, we'll see more of them. Backstage, we saw Adam Pearce ask Stephanie McCord what she wants to do in regards to Raquel and Nikki Bella. She's going to be in a triple threat match next week, defending her defending her world title against both Raquel Rodriguez and Nikki Bella. And then we also are going to see the Usos, who cut a pretty strong promo about why they're back together. And they're going to be in tag team title action against Phenomenal Lee next week. We did see a promo from Bron Breakker, which is very interesting. And if you guys follow the Ruler on Twitter, he said he expects his royalties from the promo, because I guess Bron Breakker quite literally plagiarized Oba's promo against Cody a couple weeks ago before Saturday night's main event, saying I'm the man you can't conquer, I'm the dog you can't outrun. Kind of plagiarized a little bit, but I mean, still bars nonetheless. We're leading up to Bron Breakker versus CM Punk on that Netflix anniversary episode as well for the world title. Man, but Nikki Bella, speaking of her, she came out dressed very differently, leather, all black, and wanted to remind the crowd about who she is, saying that Stephanie's great in the ring, she's important in the ring, but Nikki is important everywhere. She's the celebrity, she's the Hall of Famer, she's the vet, and that she's not just back for a good time, that she's here to win the title and remind everybody how great she is. I think this was a good promo for Nikki out of left field. I think people on Twitter who saw the leaked footage, because it's a taped episode, that she notably looked a lot like Becky Lynch, which is funny. And I can see it a little bit, but I think this is a good lane for Nikki, because it has kind of like that lone wolf vibe. It's like, hey, I'm coming after Stephanie. I want that title, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty with even the women of the Judgment Day, because you're in my way of my goal. I think this leads a lot to what Nikki needed, rather than what we saw before, which was kind of just like a happy little victory lap of just being back in WWE for a final run. So I like that. I like that she played up to the heel angles of mocking the crowd, kind of like Becky did earlier tonight. Made a lot of sense. Judgment Day's back in action again. Second ladies match of the night. Bayley with Lyra Valkyria taking on Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. This is where we talked about the Judgment Day kind of getting each other's way, because they did everything in their power to try to steal this win from Bayley and even eliminate, like Liv Morgan eliminated Lyra. Roxanne used the turnbuckle. Roxanne came out to try to help and got in the way. And then Liv went to go stop stop Raquel, asking her, like, what the hell she's doing. So the women are getting each other's way because, remember, I think Liv was a little jealous that Raquel got the title shot, but she said, hey, whatever. We'll jump into the tag team division, Roxanne and Liv, which was a surprise to Roxanne, but now it seems like they're on the same page and Raquel's the outlier because she's going for Stephanie. So we'll have to see what's going on with Judgment Day in that regard. Bayley did pick up a good win after going full Festus. So for the fans who really wanted to see where we're going with the multiple faces, the schizophrenia personality of Bayley, it's still there. I think it's a slow burn right now. I don't know where we land the plane at, but apparently slapping Bayley unlocks her. Kind of like the ring bell used to unlock Festus and make him go ape shit. So Lyra said she needed the Grand Slam champion. She needed the real Bayley, and she unlocked her, and then Bayley completely nerfed Roxanne in like under 2 minutes with a nice tribute elbow to Randy Savage. Picks up the win. So that has to put them further up higher on the pecking order for those tag team titles. And the Judgment Day ladies seem to be at odds because they argue backstage, and Raquel says, hey, I don't need this. I have a title match to get ready for. I was just trying to help, like you guys should have helped me last week when Nikki Bella got in my business. So I think, as I answered one of you guys earlier, I think much ado about nothing. I think eventually it'll lead to them getting on the same page and looking dominant like they did at that end of Monday Night Raw just a few weeks ago. But very interested to see where Bayley goes with this. From hugger Bayley to role model Bayley and flipping back and forth. I want to see how this character develops more. And I hope that the writers are doing a better job backstage of trying to showcase it to us fans and more of those backstage segments as opposed to in ring, where you're getting more talking segments with Lyra where maybe she's just being brash and abusive to Lyra and then also being soft at the same time in the same breath. More of those type of segments are the good things that are going to come out about that character and allow Bayley to be who she is, which is one of the best four horsewomen of the four. Next up, we got Gunther playing up to the crowd some more. I don't know how long we're going to do this, but it is funny. But Gunther came out to a course of boos, fans hating him, probably getting a lot of hate mail on the social media just for being the man that tapped out, made John Cena give up, and he's talking about it every chance he can get. Tells the fans, you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at the man that tapped out like a little bitch. This prompted CM Punk to come out. And you got to remember, CM Punk is the one who took the title off Gunther, made him bleed his own blood and be scared and go into hiding. So that was a very interesting stare down. He also got a stare down from Ray, both close friends of John Cena. I think it's hilarious. Every time Gunther hits the "you can't see me," it just feels, it's chef's kiss. It works. It just works. Like, I don't know how long we'll use it. I think it'll get to a point where Gunther's in the Royal Rumble, and then I think the whole roster just jumps him. I think the roster jumps him, eliminates him, and starts alienating him. But I think this is a good look. He doesn't need to wrestle at least until the Rumble, and he can just play this gimmick up and be the part of the show where the fans really use their voice and trash everything he does just out of like real heel heat. He even crossed paths with AJ Styles backstage, and AJ says, I guess you just don't know how to shut up, do you? And he says, I guess not. So for the fans who felt like Gunther didn't need this, I still agree with you. I don't think Gunther needed it, but he is executing the plan perfectly. This is what you do when you eliminate the greatest of all time, a fan favorite from his final lap, and not erase 23 years, but you make a mockery of 23 years of a character and just the simplicity of it all. I think what Gunther's doing will allow him to be really hated, and whenever he gets his next title reign, I think the WWE and TKO will get the reaction that they want. I think that's what it's all about, is building that reaction. So the story to me has a lot of staying power. I don't know what direction Gunther takes with it, if he's going to seek titles or if it's going to lead to a rivalry of Friends of John trying to defend his honor. We know John is not coming back. No AAs, no strikes, no nothing. It's done. So how Gunther carries this compared to like how Cena tried to put over other people in the past, thinking about Solo and Austin Theory, like Gunther has the chance to do something very special with the gift that Cena gave him. Main event time, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio taking on Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. Great match. I thought everybody looked good. I thought Austin Theory looked very sharp. I don't know where Austin Theory goes with the Vision, because Logan Paul is also in the Vision. And if you notice, Austin Theory now has a buzz cut, no more of the hair, very throwback look for him. And it looks like he's wearing very much like army fatigue type gear. A lot of people on the socials are saying it looks very Shield-like, and they're already alluding to the fact that maybe Austin Theory is a mole. He's actually working like Seth and using the stomp. Is he a mole for Seth Rollins? Is Seth Rollins really the puppet mastermind that was steps ahead of Paul Heyman? Because he's the one that convinced Paul Heyman to align with him at WrestleMania earlier this year. We'll have to see what it's like, but I think the story being open-ended where we can think like that and think like, hey, maybe he's working for Seth all along. Maybe he's really just trying to get a better shot at the big leagues. We've seen it in the past. I think having open-ended it like that, depending on how Seth's recovery goes, allows us to have something long-term to go to when we're far past WrestleMania season next year, when Seth can finally come back. But Theory picked up the win for his team, hit the stomp on Rey. They get out of here. CM Punk tries to come to Rey's aid and fight, and he's met with a spear from Braun Breaker, and that's how we end the show. The Vision goes out on top, a new Vision, so to speak, and possibly a new era when you're looking at now Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and now Austin Theory. You got to know that Braun Breaker is going to be coming at CM Punk in a few weeks. They just took out LA Knight seemingly indefinitely. And while Rey has a storyline here against the Vision, he's still going to be feuding with his son in AAA after picking up that tag team win over him. So I'm curious how Rey is going to be introduced into this going forward. But like, I thought Austin Theory looked great, but the action seemed like a desperate attempt for an audition, kind of out of nowhere. So like, as a fan, I hope it's like the mole angle, and the Shield gear kind of like alludes to that. Him doing Seth Rollins moves kind of alludes to that. I think, pretty sure Austin Theory was a part of the, not the original Vision, but he was a part of the Monday Night Messiah thing back in the pandemic. So no stranger to having some type of relationship with Seth Rollins. But yeah, it's just curious. Just curious. And we'll have to see what's going on with Austin Theory. But like, this show was literally an hour and a half. Very short Monday Night Raw. We got a couple title matches next week. We got NXT tonight. Chelsea Green, a United States champion, will be defending against Sol Ruca, which is going to be a cool match. But as for Monday Night Raw, next week we kick it back off with Stephanie McCurry defending her women's title against Nikki Bella, as well as Raquel Rodriguez. And we get a tag team title match with the Usos, who weren't in appearance tonight, taking on Phenomenal Lee, officially back in the tag team division. Us here at WWC, we're going to be off until the new year, so we'll be locked in back for that January 5th Monday Night Raw for the anniversary show on Netflix. Pretty sure we'll have a packed house for that and a WWT live that day. Make sure you check out our clips from our recent end of the year awards. We crowned a lot of deserving people with awards for the stellar years they had in the wrestling business on the women's wrestling side of things. And make sure you support all our creators this holiday season. Of course, we got some great merch. We got the Women's Wrestling Archive, which is set to launch in early 2026. And we're going to keep bringing you guys dope content. I'm your mayor. You can follow me at Said is the Answer. Said Says on Twitter. still cooking up some stuff for you guys. I got some content and some time downtown now where I can actually repurpose some of my wrestling content from this entire past year. My MLW shows, Double or Nothing that I went to, some interviews I've done. Definitely going to make sure I repurpose that for you guys on the TikTok page I got at Said Is The Answer. And WWE Live is going to keep rocking and getting better and better and getting 1% a greater every single day for you guys throughout 2026. Appreciate you guys rocking me for this quick Tuesday edition of the Monday Nightmare post show. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We appreciate you guys. Have good time with the fam. Have a good time in the new year as well. See you in 2026, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.